What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I think this pink is a little bit too bright. I think that pink is. Come on, trim it down some. There we go. It was like washing me out. I don't know why that. Whoa. I don't know why it does that. Like every time I turn those off, whenever it turns back on, they're like full power. Even I turn them down every single time. What's going on, everybody who's all in here? We got Dogbone, we got Pell, we got Scuba, we got Mobile, we got Junior, we got Alan, we got James, we got MD, we got Chet, we got Galaxy Solutions LLC. I like it. We got MD Spider, Moochie, Robert, Artful. Dang, it's going too fast. Richard, Scuba. I already said Scuba. D18, James, Penn, Pell. I think I already said a couple of those. Grumpy. Hey, what up, Corey? What up, Circus? Foul Bundy, RS, Mr. Fire on the mic. Ooh, I like that. Kenneth Kane, Camaro Dude. Oh, there we go, Camaro Dude. I like that guy. He seems like he's into cars. I am also into cars. Robert, damn it, freaking top chat, stupid motherfucking thing. Let's see. OGT, keep growing all the good, but hey, thanks, man. We'll do. No problem there. Woo! Love the channel, GT. Thanks. Serena Marquise. Penelli pun. Sorry if I got fucked that all up. We got Grizzly. We got Tire Shredder. We got Pat. We got Dave. We got Mock. Hey, what up, Mock? Mobile Noble says, congratulations on hitting 80,000 subscribers, GT. Making moves. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, I attribute that all to a video. That video I did with the rulers on second topping. It's got like 75,000 views in the last like 2.5 weeks. So that video is going like crazy. It's trending, as they would say. What up, what up, Francine? What up, F70 something? I don't know. I'm not going to try it. What up, Candy? Gen X420. I like it. What up, Serena? What up in smoke? God, dude, I hate this freaking chat. It like constantly, every time I change it to live chat, it flips back to top chat, and then I lose my freaking place. Let me scroll back up here and change it back to live chat. What up, Mary B? What up, Jetpack? If I skipped anybody because of that, I'm not avoiding your name on purpose. It's just I'll be reading my chat list like tink 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 tink, reading my names down, then it just goes it flips from live chat to top chat, whatever the heck that means. Well, we got Willis, Jetpack, Step, Untamed Spirits, Late Night with GT and his Spartans. I like it. Happy Labor Day. Yeah, happy Labor Day weekend, everybody. Hope everybody's got the day off tomorrow. I was out on a boat all day today, so I'm like, I got home, took a shower, and ate a little bit of dinner, and then went down to the snake room and made sure they were all good. And a couple of the jerk off ones that knocked their water bowls over like they do every day, and I had to clean that up and then refill their water bowls up because they're like, you know what, we like to knock our water bowls over and get all of our bedding all wet, so GT has to constantly change it because we're jerks. I even have their bowls like velcroed down, and they get behind them and just and push them over because they're assholes. What up, Step? What up, Bill? What up, Evan? What up, Cheeman? What up, Krusty? What up, Pat? What up, Nemesis? What up? Go Chrome 45. Got it, Chrome 45. The Gator. What up, Ed Sharp? What up, Eric? What up, Scoob? Dorinda. Hey, what's up? Goblin. What's up, brother? Oh yeah, love me some hot rods. I knew it. Oh, dang it. All right, it just flipped again. I'm sorry if I missed you, but it did it again. What up, Norma? How you doing? What's up, Dandy? Thank you, GT, for the super easy cropping info. Hey, no problem, man. Yeah, what I like, if you can't explain something simply enough, you don't understand enough to teach it. That's the way I look at it. I think that was an Einstein quote. Hey GT, now that Pigeons hit his subs giveaway, he did. He hit 101,000, and I was waiting for his video to drop where he announced that he hit his 101. The giveaway for, I think that was going to do 5 $100 giveaways for everybody that commented it. That'll be in 2 weeks. But I was waiting for him to drop his video before I was going to do mine. So I didn't want to do mine and like step all over his toes. Be like, oh, hey, Pigeons hit 100,000 before, because I knew that he was coming out with that video because I submitted. I don't know if you've watched it or not, but if you did watch it, you see that I had a submission congratulating him on there. So I was we were kind of like in limbo for like 3 weeks there, whenever waiting for his video to drop, because he had a bunch of people obviously sending stuff in. So that was cool. So that video will drop in 2 weeks where we're going to do the giveaway. And if you weren't in on it, you just had to go to a certain video on Pigeon's page and comment, and we're going to do 5 $100 prizes for people. Really, we can do like I think I can do like Venmo, Cash App, PayPal. We're going to pick out 5 winners out of the comments, and we're going to give them $100 each. But you got to still be subscribed to Pigeon. So GT's got the best channel. No drama. Thank you. Yeah, no drama here. We don't like drama. I don't like drama. I like to keep things simple. I'm a pretty happy guy all the time, so drama is just not my thing. The only thing that will get me drama is if I see bullying in the chat. I'm not a big fan of that. So no politics, no religion in the chat. It used to just be no politics, but for some reason we had a lot of religious stuff started to come up there. So there's none of that. Just none of that. We talk about gross stuff here, and occasionally cars or snakes. Everything else, You want to talk about cars? You want to talk about snakes? You want to talk about plants? Right channel. Politics or religion or any of those other topics. I'm sure there's plenty of other channels you can watch. This ain't it. Bro, I think I've watched your guide playlist like 10 times. Really trying to breathe this. Yeah, that's whenever I made those grow guides, just kind of like I'm doing the week by week seedling, or not seedling, but making bird food videos. Whenever I make those playlists like that, that's kind of what they're there for. It's like, so you get to that week, and especially people that aren't doing perpetual gardens, so they have these giant time jumps. Whenever you're not doing perpetual gardens, these people have these like giant time jumps from whenever they start doing seedling again, or whenever they're in veg, or when they're in these different weeks of flower. Because if you only got 110, you've got 4 weeks in seedling, and you've got however many weeks in veg. Could be 4, could be 12 weeks in veg for some people. Who knows? And then you've got another 8 weeks of flower. So let's say you just had an 8-week veg and an 8-week flower. That's 16 weeks. It's been 4 months since you messed with seedlings again, and now you're like, okay, it's been half a year almost since I messed with seedlings. You just flip right back to the videos. That was the exact reason I break those videos out like that, like week to week to week. You can just flip right back to them. Like, what do I got to do? What do I got to do? This is probably the most boring part of the seed bird food making videos, because there is just nothing happening right now. I've like gone to the tents. I'm like, what should I talk about? What can I do? Fucking nothing. We're in that dead time frame where there's just nothing to do besides let them go. If you're on my Patreon, you can see I posted a picture of them the other day. They're just chilling out, hanging out in the buds. They're the bird food is all green still on the inside of it's cool, like the top of the pods split open, and they give like a little window view on, like, you can check and see what the bird food is doing, and you can see at the tops of them. And I just put my macro that's the close-up lens. I just put my macro lens on my camera and took a picture of it, and you can just see them. They're just in there chilling, and they're all green still. So there's literally nothing to do. There's nothing to talk about. You just let them age. So it's boring as part of the video. So this is the one section of the grow where I wasn't looking. This is why I was going to do it all in one video instead of doing it week to week. But everybody voted and said Mopar or no car. I got a Viper. It's Mopar. So this was like the one part of the grow where I was just like, we shouldn't do week to week because it's gonna be super fucking boring, and there's just no content to be made. Like I mean, we can talk about keeping the bottom clean, keeping lollipop, keeping them fed, but we talked about nutrients the last time. It's just, there's just nothing to talk about right now in this part because they're just aging. They're just, finishing up. Now, in another week, we're going to be able to start doing videos where we're going to be like, oh, look, we're transitioning from green to white. First they start off green, and then they go white, and then they go gray, and then from gray, once they hit gray, they're viable. They don't have to hit brown and brown with tiger stripes. So they have all these different color changes, just like the trichomes. Trichomes go clear, cloudy, amber. The bird food goes green, white, gray, brown, brown with tiger stripes. That's kind of like their aging development. So eventually, in the next couple of weeks here, we're going to be able to start watching that, where we get to, we don't even have to peel the pods open, but we will, just for dramatic effect. We'll peel them all open. We'll peel some open and look at them and be like, look, the majority of them are still white, so we're not good. We'll be able to talk about that soon, but nothing right now. Snake cars would be nice. I want a chariot of Serpenter. All right. Go Steelers. All right. This fucking top chat. I hate you. I hate you, top chat. Just stay on live. I don't understand why it won't just stay on live. Like, I can click this, pin live chat. Don't change. In 5 minutes from now, it's going to be like, boop, boop. I thought I saw a question about diatomaceous earth, but there it is. GT, how do you use diatomaceous earth? Do you mix it in with the soil or just put it on top? Okay, so you can actually do both with it. So if you guys don't know what diatomaceous earth is, it's something, it's a silica product that you add to your soil. It kills all the creepy, crawly things that live in your soil. So I actually use it in a kind of like a two-pronged approach. So whenever I first get the bag of diatomaceous earth, I always have a bag of diatomaceous earth. But whenever I first get my bags of soil, you guys know I dump them out into those. I cut them out of those plastic bags that hold all the moisture in. I cut them out of the plastic bags and dump them into a big tote. And then I take them and I slide those under like the exhaust vents of the tent, so it helps them dry out. Because whenever you dry it out, you kill all the larvae and the eggs because there's no moisture in it. So the adults leave and the eggs all die because there's no moisture to keep them viable, and they all dry out and die. So just by drying out your soil, you can hold off a bug problem by a freaking ton, because all that soil has eggs and crap in it. And that's why after you put new soil down, you're like, why do I have fungus gnats after 3 days? There's no way I had enough time for bugs to come in here. No, it's because they're already in the bags of soil. There's nothing you can do about it except dry it out. The other thing I'm going to do, let's say I don't have that kind of time. Let's say I don't have because it's usually by the time you're done stirring, because when you slide under those air vents to dry, you have to go down there and mix it every few days to get the wet stuff off the bottom and bring it up to the top. So that process takes like a week and a half to 2 weeks. Let's say you don't have a week and a half to 2 weeks. You need that soil freaking in 3 days. So what I'll do instead, shirt's falling out. What I'll do instead is I will take my bags of diatomaceous earth, and I will just take handfuls. I will throw it into the soil, in the big tub, and I will just mix it in throughout the whole thing. A couple handfuls of it, just, and then throw it in there, and then just mix it in really well. Then I like to slide that under there and give it a few days to dry. I don't like ever going just straight out of the bag in there, but sometimes I have to do it. That's one way whenever I'm using it to prep soil that I'm going to use. The other way is every time I transplant into a new container, I always grab a handful of it. Not really even a handful. I just kind of stick my hand in the bag, kind of like this, and grab out like a pocket of it like that. Boom. The consistency of it, it feels like flour. It feels to us, because it's so small, it feels like super smooth and soft like flour. But to bugs and things that creepy and crawlies that like wiggle through your soil, it feels like razor wire to them, because if you look at it under microscopes, there's a bunch of jagged little pieces, and it cuts them all up. So it's like adding razor wire to your soil. But every time you transplant, you're going to have a new top layer of soil. So you just grab like a little pocket of it like that in your hand. Doesn't have to, it's not a ton. I don't have very big hands, but you grab it out like that, and then I just sprinkle it around the top, and then I just work it in the top of the topsoil about 2 inches down. You're not anything crazy, just like 2 knuckles deep. You know, you're just going that far into the soil, just and you just go around both hands and then mix it in. So instead of having a bunch of like white looking snow across the top, it's just all mixed into that top 2-inch layer. You do that, your fungus net population off of a cliff. They won't even go in. They do not like to go into places where there's diatomaceous earth, because one, whenever they get it attached to them, it actually dehydrates them. It pulls all their water out of their body and they die. And then the larvae that are going around in there, it actually razor wires and kills them. So you kill off, they don't already have very long lifespans. So you kill off the younger generation, and then the older generation dies. Your fungus gnat problem is fixed, as long as you don't keep overwatering your plants. That video was a great video. I was stoked to see that you were in that video as well. Yeah, Rob from CLTV, he actually put a comment and he's like, that was a cool video. He goes, but fucking GT's contribution. He's laughing his ass off about it. Ricky GT decided to stop in and congratulate him. What up, TARDIS? That was our previous contest winner. Scott, I've been working super hard on the new contest, and you're in the Patreon, you've been able to see all the new designs for the new merch drop that's coming up. And there's going to be a poll. I don't know if I'm going to put the poll up tomorrow on there or Tuesday, but I'm going to, the poll's going to be on when will you guys want the pre-sale to go live. So make sure you get on there and vote whenever I put the poll up on Patreon, either tomorrow or Tuesday. I'm not sure which. I got a family gathering barbecue thing tomorrow, so I'm not sure how much I'll be online. Love all the new slabs you have coming. I was just talking about that. Yeah, thank you. I don't have my phone on me, but I got the finished coloring work. We were like all day yesterday where I was going back and forth with the coloring. So freaking cool on that last slab, on the atomic smash cake slab. No worries if you were late, Vern. Let's see here. Much love. Got to head off. Hey, Mike, thanks for hanging out. A 200 watt grow LED. How close do you guys go to your plants? I mean, 200 watts, not very strong, but it's still LED, but I'm still going to put it at the top of the tent. Now, maybe if you had like one of those like 8-foot gorilla tents, probably too small of a light for that size of tent, but generally just put it at the top of your tent. Don't ever touch it. And then use the dial to increase and decrease strength. What's up, LB Toy? Just some guy. What's up? Yay. Hi, GTA. What's up? I never water to runoff. It wastes newts. No, you just let it drink it back up. You don't waste anything. What about bringing plants inside after they've been outside? Man, it's a dangerous game, brother. All plants outside have bugs on them, all of them. That's why they always have to spray them with stuff like Azamax and stuff like that. Can you do it? Yes. Should you do it? It's risky, man. Like maybe if it's the end of the season or it's getting cold where you are and you don't really have any other choice and you don't do like normal inside grows very often, maybe. I am not a fan of bringing outside plants inside, especially if I grow inside, which I do. I'm never going to bring outside plants into my garden, just like I will never bring outside clones into my garden ever. Hello from Brazil. Hey, what up, Tim? What's the weather like in Brazil right now? Is it always like super warm in Brazil? I'm not sure. GT, video super cropping is key. So, yeah, see, I came up with an idea the other day. So I've done a few videos on super cropping the plant. I just did one not too long ago. Not a ton of people saw it because it had plants in it. So you can go to my video or my channel and look up the last super cropping one that had plants. And then I did the one, not the one with topping. Then I did the one, I've done a few live streams on it lately with like pens and pencils. We had the pencil demonstration where I broke the pencil in a bunch of different places. But I had a epiphany moment the other day, and I've got a video coming out. I've been waiting for this. I had to get this product for this tools, because before we've done one with plants, we just did one with plants like less than, I don't know, 4 months ago. So if you want to see that one, just go to the channel and type in super cropping. It'll pull one right up. But you have to be signed in to see it because it's got plants in it. But this one tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but I just got the product in for it today that I'm going to use for the demonstration. So stay tuned. So hopefully more people will see that one. What are some safe IPM measures during flower? Got some outdoor ladies I'd like to protect from the. You can do stuff like neem oil. The diatomaceous earth actually still works outside. You know, actually keep a lot of stuff away from your plants because they don't like it. And then the neem oil works really well too if you're like the organic route. And they do make some sprays for flower, like misting stuff or fogging stuff for flower that's supposed to be safe. I don't know. There's just only so much you can do outside. You know, there's only so much you can do. Dun, dun, dun. What's up, GT? Spartan sour diesel, week 8 flour, looking and smelling crazy. Isn't it crazy that's awesome to hear one, but isn't it crazy? It feels like to me, like I feel like those just went out not too long ago and people are already in week 8 flour with them. To me, I don't know if it's because I've constantly just got stuff going, but it's always crazy that like I feel like that those babies just went out and people are already in week 8 flour with them. But I've heard a lot of people saying the same thing about that. The sour diesel stuff is they really, really like it. What's up, Emil from Spain? Got people in Spain, Brazil. I think we had Australia in here a little bit earlier. Hit that like button, everybody. Yeah, thanks, Floyd. Appreciate it. I'm glad you answered. I've been leaning on bringing them in only because it's going to be under a new light. I would not bring them in just to do it a lot. Put them under a light. Fuck that. Leave that shit outside. The last thing you want to do is bring spider mites into your house. Hey, GT, how do you check your soil to see if it's hot before I use it? You can just do a runoff test through it, man. You can literally just get like a 1 gallon pot. And what I'll do, you get a 1 gallon pot and you pack your soil into it. I know this is a water bottle. Let's just say it's your 1 gallon fucking pot. And you put it in your drip tray. You put it in your drip tray and then you just water through it before a plant has in there. And I don't like that very first reading that you get because they can be all over the place because the soil really hasn't compacted. So I will water through it, let that water just absorb back up. And then I will come back to it in like 3 or 4 days and I will water through it again. And you'll get a lot better reading on that second watering when the ground's all more compacted. And that's how you can, and then you can just take your PPM pin and stick it right in that runoff drip tray and then read what the runoff PPM is the soil, even before a plant's in it. Do I think that's necessary? No, not really. Unless you were going to do something like, let's say all you had was ocean forest and you're like, oh, all I have is ocean forest soil for veg, which is a flowering soil. It's not meant for veg. Let's say all you had was ocean forest. You're like, well, that's what I got. I don't have anything else, so that's what I'm going to use. That would be really an instance where you would need to check it before you like put it to like seedlings, or you're like, oh shit, the runoff is 5,000 ppm, which it's rare, but it's not unheard of for ocean forest to get super hot sometimes, and you will have problems if you put baby plants into soil that's that hot. So GT, give the wife a shout out. What up, Tessa? Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. She loves what I've done from watching your videos. Yeah, that's the thing though, man. If you just watch the videos, that the plants will, it's not like I'm holding any secrets back. Well, I do hold some back for like very, very new people. Like we don't talk about PK boosters or chasing shit or doing some kind of stuff. But that's because you don't need to know it yet. You got to get the basics down. And then you can talk to me about other stuff. But for the most part, you just follow along. The plants follow right along with it. So it's nothing crazy. My Spartan sour diesel is so big. That's awesome to hear. Syracuse, New York, GT, thank you. Leave me outside. That's what I would do. Don't bring them inside just to put them under a light. The sun will do just fine. Don't bring spider mites into your fucking house. Because once they're in your house, oh my God, fucking spider mites. Absolutely can't wait to get the Spartan Skunk OG funking up the place, dude. I got banned from that. I can't ever grow it again. So when Spartan Skunk OG runs out, it's gone forever. I can never remake it. You know, the wife doesn't shut too many of the strains down. That was one of them. She's like, never. Crescendo was the first one. Spartan Skunk OG was the second. She's like, never again. Never. That is way too strong smelling. Hey, GT, can you put another contest together? I've actually been working on it. Like, if I don't know if I've done a live stream. Why is that frozen? Hey, what's happening? Maybe refresh that. There we go. Now it's working. I don't know. The other screen was frozen. What was that? Oh, the contest. If you look on like if I'm at the office with live stream, there's a big whiteboard that's always behind me, and there's like the contest bubble written in the middle, and then it's got all the tiers of all the different stuff. So I've actually been working on the new contest. So what up, King B Fine? I ain't seen you in a minute, buddy. Hey GT, your merch rocks. I'd love a hoodie. I might. Hoodies are such pain. It's the same reason I don't do hats. It's such pain in the asses. Spartan Skunk just got here, GT. Oh, damn it. Almost time to piss the wife off. Oh, if she don't like the smell of it, she's not gonna be fucking happy. I can tell you that. Better late than never. Oh, you showed up better late. I noticed you use females to create pollen. Is there a preference to that, or is there a little difference if I was to use a male to produce pollen? Well, I mean, there's a difference in how you get the pollen, but once you have the pollen, the same kind of things are taking effect. The only reason I use females to get the pollen is, okay, we're only talking about fucking plants here. Don't go off the rails with this. In females, you have two X chromosomes. In males, you have a Y chromosome and an X chromosome. So if you put these two together and you put them in a little four square, you have a 50-50 chance of getting a male seed, and you have 50-50 chance of getting a female seed by the way the X's and the Y's can go together. If you, is this frozen again? No, fucking Christ, just pause it. But whenever you use a female to get pollen and then take that pollen and put it to a female plant, well, if you got your pollen from a female that only has XX chromosomes and you put it to a female plant that only has XX chromosomes, whenever all the pairings are going together, you can only get two X's in each box, which means all of the bird food will be feminized. That's the difference. That's why it takes extra time to do it. Like whenever you're doing it with regular 8-week, 9-week flower and you're done, whenever you're doing it with feminized plants, there's a lot of pre-work that goes into it, and then you have a 12-week flower. So it's a little bit of difference, but I think it's it's worth it. Gave my dad a jar of Cherry Atomic Sledgehammer earlier today, and the first thing he said was, "The smell is going to get me in trouble with your mother." Yeah, that'll happen. I am completely out of Cherry Atomic Sledgehammer. I sent the last pack out last week. So I am completely out of Gen 1 Cherry Atomic Sledgehammer. I do have mother of it that we're making, and we have little babies of it that we are doing Gen 2 with, but I am completely out of Cherry Atomic Sledgehammer. There is a bank that still has, I think, like 10 or 15 packs of it left, but I don't personally have any of it left. It's all gone. I'm starting some cash. Nice. GT, I emailed you about an order. Hope you can read it soon. Oh, I will. Once I get back into the office on Tuesday, that's when I usually go through it. I wish you did hats. I just wish they were easier to ship, man. You know, like it would probably be one thing if I didn't ship a bunch of orders, but like whenever I do like a merch drop, like it's not unheard of for there to be 1,000 orders. Can you and like if I do t-shirt bags and bubble envelopes, you know, it takes up X amount of room because all the t-shirt bags they'll compact and stack together really well, and then the bubble wrap, bubble, you know, bubble mailers, they don't take up a room either. But like hat boxes, can you imagine? Let's just say 500 hat boxes. It'd take like fucking 15 trips to get all the boxes to the fucking to the post office. It's just a thing. I can only handle so much. Let's see. Dun, dun. Bro, you need to upload another grow series. I love seeing that seeing that on your channel. I haven't seen you post in a while. I've been dropping. I've got a grow series going on right now. What are you talking about? There's literally a week by week grow series happening this instant. It's been going on. How long have we been doing it? Doing veg and and flour. There's a how to make feminized bird food. I think we're on part 5 right now. There's a series going on. This is what I'm talking about. When you put plants in your videos, even the subscribers have no idea that you're even dropping them. What you're at, that's happening. We're doing a week by week series at this moment. There's literally 4 or 5 videos up right now. I use colloidal silver 50 ppm on a variety of different female strains. They throw sacs, but no pollen. Any advice? That's a pretty common problem. So whenever you're doing that, you have to make sure you're spraying it at the correct times. Whenever I'm going to do just colloidal silver, the ppm is fine. Like my colloidal silver is only 40 ppm. You make sure you go in 3 times a day. So you can start whenever you're going to do just a colloidal silver run, you're going to go in the week before you go into veg. Or the week before you go into veg. So the last week of veg and the first 2 weeks of flower, you got to spray 3 times a day. Every once in a while, I'll miss that second one. But I still get the third one. But you got to do the morning, the afternoon, and the evening, which is super hard to get in there and spray 3 times a day. It's such a pain in the ass. And you can still have a bunch of, you'll get all these beautiful pollen sacs, and then you'll hit them, and there's nothing. And they'll just age out, die, and fall off, and you don't get any pollen. That's actually a pretty common problem whenever you're using just one. Like if you're using just colloidal silver or just STS spray, it's actually a pretty common problem. You still do get some pollen usually. Usually you got to keep checking those sacs, but usually you do get some pollen, but you can have a lot of them be empty. The best results I've ever had, because I've done it just colloidal silver, I've done it just STS spray, and I've done it with a combination of both, where we did STS spray the first week, and then the next 2 weeks we did the colloidal silver spray. And doing it that way is where I get the most pollen. But you don't need a ton of pollen. Like even if you only you could have hundreds of those sacs pop up, and only 3 or 4 of them have pollen. There's so much pollen in just one of those sacs. You can do an entire garden with just 1 to 2 of those little. All you need is 1 to 2 of those flower sites to hit. Collect the pollen, knock all the pollen on the card, get yourself a little brush, pick all the pollen up, and then just dust on each of the buds. With just 1 or 2 of those, you can do an entire garden of buds. So it never comes up on the feed. You have to check your notifications. When is it too late to top? Topping is done in veg. As soon as you are out of veg, high stress trainings are done. So you can not for flower. Hey, GT. Well, hello. Floor gone 33.3 is 9 days since flip. Long enough time for a male to pollinate the tent. Not generally. Generally, the males don't start dropping pollen until like some of them can go early. Like day 17, day 18 is about the earliest I ever see males drop pollen. But generally, you're in the 3-week category of around day 21 through day 27 usually at the latest. And that's about normal, like 21 to 27. It's about the normal for when the males drop pollen. But I have seen some males drop it at like day 17. The other day, I guess they're premature pollen ejaculators. It happens, man. It happens. Some of them, but day 9, that's way too early. I've never seen one. The earliest I've ever seen one drop pollen is day 17. At day 9, you're still about a full week before normally they would start dropping pollen. And guys, if I miss your question, I'm not doing it on purpose. I saw somebody was a little annoyed that I had skipped their question. I answer a question and then I come back over here and I just grab the first question that I see and then I come back over here. So it misses. I will miss a bunch of questions. Just keep putting them up there. Eventually, hopefully I see it. Don't get annoyed. I'm not doing it on purpose. I'm not skipping. You're skipping my question. I can only read so many, guys. Don't be mad. I'm trying to catch them all. It's like Pokemon. What size tent should I look for 2-plant max? Never caught you live to ask. Well, happy joy. Is that like a Ren and Stimpy thing? Happy joy. It depends on what your end yield weight is. Don't think about it as I can only grow 2 plants, because I mean you can put 2 plants in a 2x2. Then again, you can put 2 plants in a 4x8. I can fill out an entire 4x8 with only 2 plants. I've done it. You should check out my Instagram. I got pictures of them up there. They're giant. They're 6.5 foot tall, and I can't put my arms like this. I'm 6 foot tall, and I can't put my arms around half of them because they're gigantic plants. They were in 7-gallon pots, and they drank over 3 gallons of water a fucking day, which is why you don't flower mother plants. So it's just one of those things. Your goal should be, what do your needs of end yield need to be, because the plant count is irrelevant. The only thing the plant count changes is how long you have to stay in veg. If you can only, let's say you're in a place where I got 2 plants max, that's all I can do. Well, but if you're in a 2-plant max, then did they say how much you can get off of those 2 plants, or did they just give you a 2-plant max? Because if they just gave you a 2-plant max, I can make some really big fucking plants with 2 plants that put off a lot of weight. Like, let's say you're looking for a pound every time you harvest. Well, then you want to get a 4x4. But let's say you don't need a pound. You're like, well, this is just for me. I only need a half a pound. Okay, great. Get a 2x4. I don't even need half a pound. I just need a quarter pound. Great. Get a 2x2. GT, I need 2 pounds. Awesome. Get a 4x8. You're going to have a really long fucking veg, though. Since they're making it impossible to buy T5s after the first of the year, is there another way you can do seedlings? Yeah, you can actually do seedlings with any of the lights. You just have to change the way you use the light with the seedlings. Like, I can take a tray full of seedlings and I can start them in my 2x4 tent. I've had to do it before. And I just take the seedling tray and I push it all the way over into the corner and make sure my light's all the way at the top, and I just turn it down. I don't put the baby plants directly under the light. I just slide them over to the edge and they'll be just fine. The amount of light that those little seedlings require is next to nothing. And then if, let's say, they start getting stretchy or whatever, you can just scoot them in a little bit. You don't even have to touch the power on the light. You can literally just move them in a few inches. They're getting more light because they're not all the way on the edge. If you ever look at those PAR maps, they're brighter in the center than it is on the edges. Start them on the edges. They start getting a little stretchy. Push them in a little bit. Don't overthink it. 210 watching, only 135 likes. Come on, people. In your week 3 seedling video, was that the beginning or the end of week 3? Fuck, I don't know. I made that video like 2 or 3 years ago. I have to go watch it. I honestly don't remember right now. I remember when that video is like 2 or 3 years old. Yeah, there's 206 people in here talking to one guy. Give him a break if he misses your question. Thanks. Love from Ireland. All right, we got Ireland in here. We're going for the around the whole globe here. Yes, we already have been around the whole globe because we had somebody from Australia, and then we had Brazil, and we usually have Canada in here. Something in my eye. I think I got too much sun today. My eyes are like burning. Or I got sunblock in them, one of the two. Ren and Stimpy was not a kid's cartoon. Oh, I remember. I used to watch it. Hit those likes and subscribe button. Patreon link is pinned. Here you go. You want to hang out with me more? Here's the link to my Patreon. You check out the benefits of those Patreons. Some of them tiers get some pretty fucking cool benefits. GT, I emailed you about an order. Hope that you see it soon. I already answered that, I thought. But yeah, I go through all those on Tuesday when I get back in the office because we're off tomorrow. So, what traits were you looking for whenever? Fucking chat. What's the rest of that question? GT, how long is the flowering and sour diesel? I flowered mine for 9 weeks. Dude, there's a question that said something about what traits you were looking for. Oh. And yes, it is Ren and Stimpy. Okay, well, fuck it. The fucking chat. So annoying. Hey, GT, how would you germinate beans if you don't have T5 light? Would you just turn? I don't ever have to worry about running out of T5 light. I got a fucking shelf full of them. Would you just turn the light all the way down? Yeah, you would just turn the light all the way. This is what we were just talking about. I would just turn the light all the way down, squish them over to the side. Like you can just start them in your like 2x4 tents, or you can even get the little small. They can make little small LED bars. Not a big fan of them though, because they're so close. But you can just sit those little LED bars on the little stands that we can move them up and down and get them a little bit further away. GT is world famous. Howdy, GT. How many ppms were you feeding your big plants on water days, early and late flower? Well, it will depend. So whenever you say my really big plants, or like the 6 foot tall ones that were, there was 2 plants taking up an entire 4x8 because I was feeding them like 1,700 ppms every third watering, and I was watering 3 gallons of water every single day. So it was a fucking nightmare keep up. I should have put them in like 15-gallon pots, but I was like, yeah, do it in 7. I hated that grow. I fucking hated it. Making 3 gallons of water up, and that's back whenever I had my small RO machine, and it took an hour and a half per gallon, and I had to make 6 gallons, so I would have to like start making the water the day before into the filling up the big red. It sucked. It freaking sucked. What up from Phoenix? What's up, Phoenix? You're the coolest benefit, GT. Hey, thank you. Where's Lone Villain? I don't know. I was on Lone Villain's stream the other day. He hasn't been playing much music lately, though. I like Lone Villain usually has like really like our taste in music is like almost identical, and usually GT was usually Villain has just music just blasting on his channel, and he's like out like doing something like installing insulation or working on a car or something, and I would just turn his stream on and listen to him play music on his channel because I don't know how he doesn't get strikes on it for playing all those copyrighted songs, but I listen to him. She said, "Did he just give me a shout out?" Awesome. Yep, I did. Was it Tessa? I think was that her name, Tessa? Hey GT, how do I know when to feed in cocoa when using synthetics? I am waiting to get below a certain ppm like it's all. No, you can use the ppm runoff, but you pretty much just stick to the schedule of feed, water, 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 feed. And if your plant starts to yellow, then you might knock it down from feed, water, 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 feed to feed, water, water, feed. GT, I was talking about the grower videos you post, like you've been doing with all the different YouTubers. My favorite show. The grower videos you post, like you've been doing with the different YouTubers. I don't know what that is. I'm lost. I've been on Mr. Growit's channel. I've been on From the Stash. I've been on Photosyntex show. I was on the Grow Bosses show. I was on Villain show. I was on Nuggy show back in the day. I don't know. I've been on a bunch of shows. I'm a VIP patron. It fucking rocks. I have one Spartan sour diesel in a 3x3 at the end of week 4 flower. It takes up the whole tent. I had to put a second net up. Biggest plant I've ever had so far. Hey, awesome to hear, Mary. I cannot tell you like the joy I feel when people are having, you know, they're like, oh, I grew your stuff. It's the best. It's the easiest and best grow I've ever had. Makes me pretty happy. Like all the work that I put into them and then into the crosses, into picking out the mothers, and it makes it all worth it. Oh, dude, I love Arizona. Arizona is one of my favorite states to visit. Like we went to Tombstone, went to Phoenix, went to Flagstaff, went to Scottsdale, went to Tucson, and somewhere else. One more, I can't think of it. I love going to Arizona. I love driving through Arizona. I love seeing little road runners running across the ground. Meet me. I love Arizona. It's one of my favorite states. Skunk just arrived. Can't wait to pop them. Ooh. Get ready. I hope your exhaust system and air carbon filtration is up to the fucking task. Because if not, it's gonna get you. You motherfucking remembered. Hell yeah. Once your water is to 25% runoff, how long do you wait to take the ppm readings? That's a great question, Canvas version. And the quicker you do it, the more accurate the reading. Because if you notice, if you water till runoff like we do, there will start to be a film on the bottom of your drip tray. And the longer you leave that runoff water sit in it, it starts to dissolve that film, and then it contaminates your reading. So the faster you take the reading, the better. The longer you wait, the more inaccurate the runoff reading gets. Damn, we got all kinds of Arizona growers in here. Arizona's a cool ass fucking state, man. It's one of my favorite states to visit. I like to go to Barrett-Jackson and watch all the cars get auctioned off. It's one of my favorite things to go do. We miss you, Grow Boss, wherever you are. I just talked to Jason. His real name's Jason. If you guys didn't know, Grow Boss is just his character, kind of like GT. Grow Boss is just his character. I just talked to him. The fuck was it? Like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago? He's doing good. He's mainly concentrating on his paramedic stuff right now. If you guys didn't know it, he used to be a paramedic, and he wrote a new paramedic book and has a paramedic YouTube channel. What up, Harry? I wish I could keep them alive like a houseplant. You can. They just start getting so big. Like the longest I ever keep my mothers around is like 9 to 10-ish months. You can do a year, but they just start to get uncontrollable. You can only trim them down so much before they're just like, you take clones of them for so long before you got like this plant that's got these giant tall legs and you got this super bushy top where all these beautiful clones are coming from. And it gets to become way too much pain in the ass, and you take one of those clones and raise it up for the mother's place. What traits? Oh, that was the question. What traits were you looking for? What traits were you looking for when creation Gen 2 PFG? Okay, so Gen 2 PFG, that's what we're talking about. So with Gen 2, I was mainly, whenever we made the Gen 1 version of PFG, it got all the traits that I wanted to for me. You guys got to remember, I was making those for me. I was making those out of strains that I liked. And my original strain, like PFG, is like kind of like what I walk around with all day long in my dugouts. It keeps me calm. It helps my anxiety. I don't know what it does for you guys, but for me, it takes my anxiety from a 27 down to a 1, and it makes being out in big public social areas tolerable for me. And it takes my brain, and instead of my ADHD going in 30 different directions, try to think about doing 30 different things, it takes that and condenses it down into one track, and it's easier for me to focus on one thing. That's why whenever you hear me talking in the videos where you hear me saying relax, focus, relax, calm down, I say that to myself all day long. I used to have to sit there and edit it out of the videos back in the day. I'd sit there, I'm like, and then finally I just started leaving it in. Now it's kind of like the mantra for the channel. And White Widow crossed with Big Butts was kind of like my thing that I used to keep that under control. And then I found another strain that I really liked, the terpene profile and the smell and the way it worked, and that was Alaskan Purple. So I crossed White Widow, crossed with Big Buds, and then I crossed it with Alaskan Purple, and that was made Giant Purple Monster GPM. And then with GPM, I was trying to get purple in it too, but it didn't get in there. So then I took GPM and I crossed it with Granddaddy Purple. And it just, the concoction that it made was fucking amazing. And then with those Gin 1s, we had about 80% of them that smelled, they got that grape soda phenotype smell. That grape soda, like you just crack the can of grape soda, that first smell, that first smell whenever you open a grape soda, that's exactly the smell in flower that, oh, I see Villain's here. What's up, Villain? Thank you for, glad you can make it, buddy. About 80% of them got that grape soda smell, and then like 20% of them got, I don't know what happens to that. And then like 20% of them had like a super strong, like extreme menthol smell. And so with Gen 2, we got rid of any of the mothers that came up that had that mentholy smell went into the trash, and we only concentrated on the ones that had the grape soda smell. And then whenever we start crossing those together, then we were looking for the super grapes. And then those are the ones that we're crossing the super grape pheno strains together to make the Gen 3s. So I'm glad you re-asked that question. Wait, what? Your birth name isn't Grotent? No, it's not. PFG keeps me chill. Have some starting week 5 flower, dense, huge buds. I love it, GT. Need more cash. Yeah, we're out of cash. Well, at least I am for the Gen 1s. There's a bank that still has like, I think they have like 10 or 15 packs of it last time I checked. And if you guys would like to know the name of the bank that has that, you have to email me because I can't say it on here or type it out. And no one please type it out in the chat either. Not that I just can't do it. I don't want you can't put banks in the chat either. So if you're looking for cash, they're completely gone at the moment. So we have to wait till Gen 2. If you want any from me, you want some from Gen 1s, there's a bank that has some left, not many. And now that I've said I'm out of Cherry Atomic Sledgehammer, I imagine there'd probably be a brush on them at this specific bank. So if you were looking for them, you better not wait. You see, exactly. See, so he's like, I had the super piney PFG. So that's what we're weeding out. This is why but I always like the people who are like, oh yeah, you shouldn't send out Gen 1 stuff. How do you know if no one likes it? Why would you take something how many years you have to dedicate to something to get it to Gen 8, to get it to F8, SY8, whatever you want to fucking call it? Do you know how many years? That's fucking at least a decade worth of work. Why would you put a decade of work in and everybody fucking hates it? I mean, what are you going to do with that? Congrats. GT help, my plants are drinking slowly. Did I stunt them? It could be a ton of different things. If it's at the end of flower, they kind of stop drinking all by themselves because they're about ready to get cut down. So I mean, there's just not enough info in that statement for me to tell you. I still got some sour grape rock candy. I think sour grape rock candy got such a that it should have been released at the same time as Cherry Tonic Sledgehammer, because Cherry Tonic Sledgehammer was such a freaking beast that it overshadowed Sour Grape Rare Candy so much, and a lot of people really like it. And I didn't keep it around because it was all anybody was talking about was Cherry Tonic Sledgehammer. So I didn't keep any of it. I didn't keep a mother of it. We just let it. We're like, oh hey, this is going to be one of these one and dones, because all anybody was talking about was Cherry Atomic Sledgehammer. There is a swap in the Discord. You are correct. What up, Cody? What's up, buddy? Your fucking voicemail always trips me up because I always think I'm talking to you. I start talking back whenever you do your little voicemail thing. I'm like, oh, hey, what's up, buddy? Because I don't realize it's a voicemail because you're like, hello, blank, blank hotline. And I'm like, oh, hey, what's up, bud? And then you're like, leave a message or done. I'm like, son of a bitch, you got me again. Yeah, there is. That's one of the things, because that's one of the nice part about the Gen 1 genetics. You don't know what you're going to get. So I had an amazing strawberry mimosa. I like, oh, dude, strawberry mimosa, that's how I start my day. Oh, fucking water dripped on my shirt. Come on. I start my day with strawberry mimosa. Strawberry mimosa and grape cherry punch have been slowly becoming into the top of the rotation. Oh. Keep all of the talk about trading and stuff of bird food not in the chat, guys. Go do that on the Discord. You start talking about that, they'll give my channel a freaking strike. I'll just smell strawberry mimosa has. Yeah, dude, I was wanting to get strawberry cough into some of my lines for so long, and it was so worth it. That profile, that terpene profile that's in the strawberry mimosa, it smells fantastic. Yeah, that was a cool one. What's ppm? Ppm means parts per million. Both my wife and mom really like the PFG and have been bugging me to get some more, so I had to pop some the other night and some strawberry mimosa. Man, talk about how cool would that tint smell in flower? Like half of it's PFG and half of it's strawberry mimosa. Oh my goodness. That is a I can smell it now. Just opening that tent with just grape soda and that strawberry cough phenotype just blasting you in the fucking face. Strawberry mimosa is the bomb. Yeah, the strawberry mimosa, I think, was the standout from that. Like those were 3 drops in a row where we did grape cherry punch, strawberry mimosa, and wooberry. And I think strawberry mimosa was probably the standout of that group of 3. So GT, just curious if you send samples to a lab for potency testing. It's not really worth it to do that, because how well you grow it will depend on how much potency you get. If you fucking kill the shit out of it and stunt it the whole time, your potency is going to be in the fucking toilet. But if you grow it like I grow it, it should be around 25, 26% generally. 22, 26, somewhere in that range. Strawberry mimosa was a big hit with me and my friends. It is definitely one that I can smoke and keep going for the rest of the day. Yeah, like every day I start off with strawberry mimosa, and then I grab my dugouts, and then I head out the door with usually PFG and grape cherry punch in them. My PFG just got chopped, and the strawberry mimosa is getting chopped tomorrow. And a mimosa punch, 3 weeks in flower. The whole tent is smelling. Yeah, I bet. Oh. Australia, JMJ12. Australia's been tough lately. I know a lot of the banks have stopped shipping to Australia because of how many packages they're losing in customs. Oh. See you, Kane. When will the Gen 3 PFG be done? I don't know. We got a couple of drops before it. So we've got Atomic Smash Cake that will drop here within the next 5 or 6 weeks. So if you're not a fucking Patreon, great time to go get on there. Just saying. I don't know why I would say it. I'm just saying if you're not on the Patreon, you might want to go fucking join to not miss out on all this stuff. And if you're looking, that's how you join right there. I don't know why I would tell you. I'm just fucking recommending it. So we got some Atomic Smash Cake coming up really soon. And then we have Blue Dream PFG crossing with Chill Out OG Feminized, which is unnamed as of yet. And then we have Blue Dream crossing with Cookies. And then we have Blue Dream crossing with, what the fuck was I crossing that with? Was it PFG again? I think so. I don't know. Maybe I'm undecided on what I'm crossing that one with too. I don't know. We got like 3 big drops coming up. And then the one with Mr. Grow It with Chill Out OG and the PFG. And that one, I think it's going to go fucking bananas. There was so many people messaging me on Instagram whenever I put that little picture up. And whenever I put that little cartoon picture up, there's so many people like, I want that right now. Any high yielding strains that I can grow? Yeah, we got a few. If you're really looking for that, then Jedi Council Kush would probably be your best bet. The regs though, but their Jedi Council Kush I don't even smoke it. It puts me on my ass for like 3 hours, and I don't have 3 hours in my day that I can just go sit down. I don't have 3 hours in my day that I can just go sit down. So every time I talk about JCK on here, I get slammed with orders. Everybody's like, "Oh fuck, that puts GSD down for fucking 3 hours." That's what I want. I get slammed every time I talk about GCK and me not being able to function for 3 hours after I smoke it. Everybody's like, "Yep, that's the one that I want." And we get this huge amount of orders off the fucking merch store. Ever used Miracle Grow GT? You can use it. It's a little too high in nitrogen for me. I don't really like it. The leaves get all dark green. The tips start curling down. I'm not a big fan. GT, you can name that strain Vivance. Yeah, I got the best mods on my Discord. It took a while to get there. It took a while to find the awesome mods I have now, but they're all great. Yeah, I don't ever grow, like the yield is a natural byproduct of growing your plants correctly. You're never going to see me chasing yields with any of my grows just because if you grow the plant correctly, the yield is going to come. There's no trick to this. Treat the plant correctly, the yield comes. And it comes hard. But the terpene profile, like I don't want great. I got 2 pounds of trash. What the fuck am I gonna do with that? I don't want to fucking smoke that. But you get 2 pounds of some top shelf. That's a different fucking story altogether. Couch locked again. Oh, you're dabbing JCK? Fucking hats off to you, bro. Yo, GT, what's up? Hey, what's up, SS? How much lights in wattage will I need if I want to yield about 6 pounds? Well, I mean, you're going to have to look at your space. You need the space to yield 6 pounds. So if you're looking at like a 4x8, you can yield around 2.5 pounds dried out of it. if you're using CO2. So, I mean, you're going to need the space. And if you just fill your spaces up, like if you're like, well, I got a bunch of 4x4s. Okay, so you got a bunch of 4x4s, that's 16 square feet. Yeah, best light for a 4x4. You can put 1,000 watts in them, but you can really fill that space out with a 650 watt light is just fine for it. But if you're doing not in a tent, and you're doing a big room, and you're going to do just like tall plants, I mean, you can accomplish it with 1,000 watts as long as you 1,000 watt sections for that map of the lighting. It depends on the setup. It depends on the setup and how you're going to run the setup. Oh, what up? Wavy. Dude, I gotta get my glasses. I don't know if it's because I was out in the sun all day or something, but I'm having a hard time reading the fucking chat. Ate too many edibles today. They were just feeding them to me on the boat. We were just eating these fucking gummy bears. So I have the space to grow a large plant, but I have a hard time getting my veg, especially past week 9. So what do you think your problem is with veg to not get your plants? Because I mean, once you get the plants, once you have your if your watering's down, you're not nuking them with too much light and nutrients. Once you have an established plant, it's really fucking hard to kill. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say it's hard to kill them because people do it every fucking day. All right, we've been on here over an hour. I want you guys all have a happy rest of your weekend. I'm freaking tired. I'm gonna go smoke some more and then just lay in bed and go watch Ballers or something. We don't put banks in the text. All right, guys. I'll see you guys later. GT out.